is happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So the Premier League is back and we're back to winning ways at home. So that's 2 wins on the trot. Of course, we ended up actually getting a clean sheet today as well. So of course, as you all do know, there's a little bit of history with Stoke and Arsenal. Of course, we do remember the Ramsey incident that ended up actually getting him out of the game for a while due to a very, very bad injury that was sustained at Stoke. We had the situation with Diaby as well a while back, but back to winning ways in the Premier League. Lacazette back amongst the goals as well as Aubameyang. So let's just talk about the starting lineup. Of course, Petr picked up an injury during training this week, so he obviously missed the game. So we had Ospina in goal. At right back, we obviously had Hector Bellerin, who came in. In the middle of the defence, we had Mustafi as well as Callum Chambers. Left back, it was Monreal. In the middle of the park, we had El Neni, Ramsey and Wilshere. Ramsey actually had a decent game in my opinion. He was all over the place, box to box stuff. Up top with Danny Welbeck, who actually picked up an injury during the game and he ended up having to come off for Lacazette. We also saw Aubameyang starting up top as the lone striker, and we obviously had Ozil playing as well. So to begin with, Stoke was extremely stubborn. They were actually posing a threat on our goal really early on in the first half, and they had a few good chances, mainly through Shaqiri, who was obviously their key main man, and he was finding himself in a little bit of space, doing what he likes doing, cutting inside and then curling the ball on his left foot. But unfortunately, this time around, obviously, they didn't end up getting a goal, so we actually sustained the pressure. We were very tame, to be fair, to start off with. It didn't seem as if there was any sense of urgency. Everyone else wanted to leave responsibility to any other players. No one really wanted to take the game by the scruff of its neck and actually take the game to Stoke. So eventually the message got through. It went into second half as a 0-0. Of course, during that period, we did have some significant chances. Nothing notable really within the first half itself. However, after the break, we came out and there was a bit of sense of urgency. We were going further forward. Nacho Monreal in particular and Bellerin were finding themselves pushing a bit further forward than they were during the first half, and eventually the breakthrough came in, and it was in the form of a penalty really, and it was quite debatable if it was a penalty or not. Of course, there is contact between the two players, but it looked as if Ozil had kicked his own foot into the ground, and at that particular point the contact came after, but it didn't really matter. The penalty was issued by the referee, and Aubameyang stepped up, he scored the goal. Beautiful penalty as well. Went to the right hand side, his right hand side, the keeper's left hand side, tucked in nicely onto the bottom side of the goal, and then we obviously started to apply a bit more pressure from that particular point. We got a set piece, and the set piece it was a corner, of course, and that was Aubameyang's second goal. He found himself in acres of space, and I was quite shocked really with the Stoke defence. Obviously, they are down where they are for a particular reason. Things like this really do stand out, and to me, they left Aubameyang unmarked, and he found himself in acres of space. The finish was technically well, and he just sort of sliced it and he volleyed it, if you like, into the bottom right-hand corner, same side that his penalty went in, and we found ourselves 2-0 up, and we continued to apply the pressure from that particular point. Lacazette had joined the game at that point, and it was actually quite good to see him back on the pitch. When he came on, he looked sharp, he looked hungry, he wanted to make things happen, and at that particular point when we gained the penalty that he won, it was quite a silly penalty really from the Stoke player. It was sort of a nudge in his back, and obviously being forward, took the opportunity, went down, we were rewarded with a penalty. Immediately Lacazette grabbed the ball. So before this goal really as a penalty, he hadn't scored in 13 games. So I do believe this particular goal will do him good in terms of his confidence moving forward. We do require him for the Europa League. We do need him firing, and I believe that getting a goal today certainly would have helped his confidence moving forward. He looks extremely sharp in my opinion, and he looks quite hungry, to be fair. So hopefully he can certainly pick up what he left off on Thursday. That's when we play CSKA Moscow, and then he can actually march on within the competition itself. So as usual, guys, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. So once again, guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV, and I'm out.